I'm ready.
You ready? You sure you're ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I was born ready.
We back in the game. Philly Dom. Hey, listen to
Yeah.
everybody watching. I want to say thanks to everybody for dropping in today because we got another feed coming in from Haiti. Tell them where you are.
I'm in Peleray. I'm in Peleray, Haiti. It's right outside of Port-au-Prince. So you can say I'm in the suburbs of Port-au-Prince right now.
The
It's right
suburbs
next to
of Port-au-Prince.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, let me do this. I know who you are. Some other people might know who you are. I came to you through our friend Marie in Haiti because that's your second home, right?
Yes, indeed. That is my second home.
So let's do this. Tell them who you are. Give them your honor roll introduction, because I want everybody to subscribe to you while they're listening.
All right. This is Philly Dom. Everybody knows me as a travel YouTuber out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been to a whole bunch of countries. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Guatemala. I've been to El Salvador. I've been to Panama, Nicaragua, Colombia, Haiti, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. There's so many countries to name, but I've been in a lot of places. Canada. I've been in a lot of places.
Well, let's back up. It's not just been to Mexico. You're deep in Mexico.
Yes. Playa de Carmen, Mexico, all the way at the bottom. Almost, you're like maybe driving 4 hours from Belize, driving 3 to 4 hours from Belize, the Belize border.
Yeah, you're. Let's see. You have lived. How long did you live in Mexico, and what places?
10 years. I lived between Tijuana. I spent a lot of time in Mexico City, Guadalajara, Cancun, and Playa de Carmen.
Wow.
But mainly in Tijuana. But I would travel to other parts for periods at a time.
So we talked earlier. You're going to get that. You're going to get your second citizenship in Mexico the same way I did in Brazil, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that because my son was born in Mexico. I'm gonna work on that. I should have, tried to do that a while ago, but when you're traveling and you're moving around and going different places, you forget what's priority. But yeah, definitely that's something I'm definitely gonna work on is that second citizenship. Definitely.
Right. Oh, listen, man. I want to talk to you. Listen, we can talk all day about the fun parts of traveling, but a lot of people come here because I talk about three things. I talk about a lot of social events around the world. I talk about a lot of different things involved in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, things of that nature. I talk about having a lot of fun in traveling, but I want to talk to you about money because, we can talk about how much fun we're having in Haiti and Mexico. People come to me because there's a lot of goodies that I have for them that a lot of places don't really want to take the time to listen to because they see you with the cool aviator sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
They see you with the cool aviator sunglasses. They see the life you lead, but what they don't see is what it took to get there. And you and I chatted earlier, and you actually have an insight into something that not enough people, particularly not enough Black folks, know is out there. You have access to something that, hey, how you doing? Brother Sid Owsley, he's coming down to hang out with me in Brazil. Stephen Williams. As always, I can count on BK from the Rockies. Like you said, everybody make sure, I don't care where you're watching this, if it's on Facebook or YouTube, click in and make sure that you subscribe because that's how you get to see more of the things that I talk about with a lot of the people that I talk about it with. This is how I get to have a lot of amazing people that come on with me. Okay? You do a job that I've seen on television, and I got to tell you, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying what you do because I've seen these videos of guys. Now, I think the technical name for it is, wasn't it like a factory processor or something like that?
Seafood processor.
Say that again?
Seafood processor.
But that makes it sound nice.
Seafood processor. Yeah.
That makes it sound nice.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Yeah, but it's definitely a dangerous job.
Because you're out on the ocean.
And we work in land and we work in the sea. We work on land and we work on the sea as well.
That's. Let me back up for a minute. Tell us what a day in the life of.
Give you a rundown, a quick rundown what a seafood processor does.
Yeah.
I'm here with you. Okay. Should be coming back on your end. It's probably on my end. I'll tell you a quick definition. They bring the fish from the sea, they bring it to the docks. When it gets to the docks, we take the fish from the fishermen on the docks, we take it in a seafood processing factory, they call it canneries, it's different names for it. And we process the fish so that it consists of gutting the fish, filleting the fish, abstracting the eggs from the fish, because people use that for caviar and all that. And they send the fish to different countries, to the Asian world, to the United States, to wherever the person is buying the fish, whatever company is buying the fish, whatever they want us to do with it, we do that. We work long hours. You make a lot of money. A lot of people don't know about this job. Also, we do it in the sea. They have big vessels in the sea that they sit in the middle of the ocean, like way out in the ocean somewhere. And fishermen will come there with their little boats, and we'll take their loads of fish and we'll process it on our vessel. And also, they also themselves. Some vessels catch their own catch themselves, and they'll process it and they'll bring it to shore. And it's called a seafood processor. And you can make, man, like seven to 10,000 a month, easy.
Jeez.
And that's a little bit of money, and some even a lot more than that.
So you're telling me that a man with some steel in his balls and some steel in his spine can go out on a boat and make, let's just call it the low end. These guys are making $7,000 a month.
Yes. In peak season, yes, they can make that. In peak season. And it's year-round job. It's a seasonal job, because they work you hard. You're working 16, 17, 18-hour days. So they only can work you in spots of like 3 months, 6 months, but you can get contracts. And it's a contract job. You have to sign a contract, and you can work three-month contracts or 6-month contracts. And it's not well known. A lot of people don't know about it. And the jobs are in Alaska. But a lot of people in the lower 48 states, they don't really know about this job.
So you get on a boat, you go out there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So let me get this right. You get on a boat, you go out to sea. It's cold and it's wet, but you're out there making $7,000 a month before taxes, let's say, right?
Okay.
You're making $7,000 a month for 6 months. Let me do my quick math here. Hold on a second. My calculator. Is if I'm making, let's say after taxes, let's say $6,000 for 6 months. That means you just made $36,000 in 6 months minimum. You said 6 to 10.
Yes.
What are the qualifications? I mean, I've got 2 university degrees. Does that mean I'm qualified to do this job?
You're more than qualified. They take college people with college degrees. They take people that are retired. They take ex-cons. They take ex-military. They take the everyday Joe that's in the States. He just want to make a couple extra dollars. Any walk of life, because every position there, they can train you to do it. They can train you to do that position. It's a little dangerous, some positions are dangerous because you're working with knives, you're working with cranes and different things like that. But everybody's trained.
Wait, hold on. Train you. Back up. You said a little dangerous. Give it to me real. I mean,
start working there. They have a shipping department. They have fresh market. Yeah.
When you say a little dangerous, what do you mean?
I mean, you can die. You can die. Equipment can fall on you. You can die like really quickly. We're part of that. We're in that same thing with the fishermen. Like they consider it like one of the most dangerous jobs in the world.
Wow. So let's say your first year you make 6 a month. The second year you're making 7 a month. So right now, let me give you an example. I have a cousin. Okay. And my cousin made some mistakes when he was a young man. He ended up catching a felony. Okay. Turned his whole life around. He turned his life around, but he can't get in quote unquote corporate America. You know, my contacts didn't work out for him.
Okay.
And he's barely making it by. So at 36 a year would be more than he's ever made before. He could get that with his high school degree, and all he's got to be is dangerous and safe. And he would work for 6 months. And then for the other 6 months, I could say, hold on, instead of going back home with all the other knuckleheads, why don't you come out to Brazil and just rent a house for 6 months, and we're going to just do nothing but, well, I'm going to work every day. For the people who don't know, I'm a square, I'm still working. But he could just hang out for 6 months, and I would just have to keep him out of trouble, but he could do that.
Yes, that's what most of the guys do. They work for 6 months, and they travel for the other 6 months. Or they'll save the money up, buy a house or a car. Everybody's different, you know, what they're into. But most of the guys travel. I would say 60 to 70% of the guys travel to the Philippines and places like that. They have houses in the Philippines. And I work with a lot of guys that have places in the Philippines. They travel to the Asian world and different places, and they sit for the other 6 months. And then they come back, work 6 months, and then leave and come back. Because you figure the average Joe work a whole year. I don't even know what's the average income in America right now. 40 grand? If somebody works a whole year, like 40 grand they gonna make? I don't even know. I would have to Google it to double check. But you can clear that in 6 months and then have the other 6 months and figure it out. Some people open up businesses. They use the money to open up a business. It's different things people use it for. But it's something out there, and I don't know why they don't promote it like that. And you know what I mean? It's blue collar work. So you're working hard. You know what I mean? And they give you, you wear jumpsuits. They have jumpsuits for you. They'll give you helmets if you need it. You wear face masks. They provide everything for you. And while you're there, you're not paying no rent. You know, they wash your clothes for you. You have meals. If you're a vegetarian, they have food for vegetarians. If you're a meat eater, they have food for you. They have a medical facility on site if anything happens to you to make sure you're all right. And they provide everything for you. So the only bills you make or the bill, it's like being in the U.S. military or something. The only bills you're going to acquire is the ones that you make. But while you're there, I mean, the money just ching going right into your bank account.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like a lot of things, that the Black Americans are the last ones to get good information on quality careers with good financial returns. And, you know, we need more people like you who are willing to just, well, hold on. And by the way, thanks for the compliment, George Freedom Financial. But as Nathan said, dropping the game. Now, I would actually go so far as to say I suspect that the real game is living in a place where you have a low cost of living. You know, I've lived every place from Thailand to Brazil, and the exchange rate is phenomenal. And then do this job for 3 or 4 seasons and get out of the game. If you can stack up enough money to start your own small business, stack up enough money to just pay off the house, you know, because if you can make, you know, 36 a year, and I know you can live in Brazil, you could live well on 2,000 American dollars a month. You could live very, very well, actually. Any place in Brazil, you could take 2,000 US dollars and have no problems. You and your girl,
comfortable,
in fact. And then, so you could conceivably put away 20 grand a year. Now, here's the thing. I work as a financial professional. And for people who don't know, now my job, I'm editor, copy editor, proofreader. But I had clients that were making $100,000 a year and couldn't save 20.
Wow.
Mexican talk from, there you go.
Yep. You got a Rosarito.
And like I said, forgive the people.
What'd you say?
I was saying that I want everybody to remember you're coming in from Haiti, so there's a little time delay because of your Wi-Fi connection at the resort you're staying in.
Yes. It's not that strong here in Haiti.
Also saying that there's no law that says you even have to stop working for the 6 months. Because for me, my job is something I can do from my couch. I'll show everybody what I do. I don't know if you knew, but a good chunk of my income comes as an editor, proofreader, resume writer, and I do expat relocation, meaning I help people who want to get out of the United States to move to other countries. 90% of them want to come to Brazil, and I do all the paperwork with them and, you know, give them tools necessary, and they hire me for that. And I always tell people, when you look at my LinkedIn, don't look at my resume. That's not the important part. Go all the way down and look at I tell people to go down and look at the part where it says recommendations, because this is where other business professionals talk about how good I am at what I do. That's what I tell people to look at. So everybody's welcome to join me on LinkedIn professionally as well.
Okay.
So you could even do a job like that, you know, on the side while you're at home, and you could realistically, in a couple short years, stack up enough money. I mean, if you did a 4% rate of return and put away $100,000 in Brazil, in 5 years, you would have enough money to put something away that could feed you for conceivably until you're very old.
Wow.
No, you know what? I don't want to turn this into a financial class. I'm not going to do that. I would just
people need to hear that. They need to hear that. Yeah, they need to hear that.
You could put away in 5 years, if you put away $100,000 and got 4% off that 100 and just started eating off that every month with compound interest, shit.
You'd be well.
You could get to a little cottage in some place by the beach, or if you want to upscale, you could do very well on that. And here's the thing: there's no law that says once you put that $100,000 away. I'm not trying to tell anybody they have to do this job, but what I'm saying is, one of the things I've been criticized for, and that I want to acknowledge, is that a lot of the stuff that I talk about is all this quote unquote white collar work. But I got cousins that need this game as well.
And this job is blue collar, so this would really help them out, because it's blue collar. Like I said, even you have a cousin with felonies or anything, they hire felons, they hire everybody. You just got to be willing to work 16, 17 hours. That's all, a day.
I want to acknowledge Akko Ben Renaissance. He asked an interesting question. He said, What happens when the U.S. economy fails and you're living overseas? The whole living off the American income and geo-arbitraging becomes weak, if not impossible. I would say is if you went against the advice of any good financial professional, that would be true. But when I talk about geo-arbitrage and I talk about investments, you have to remember I'm talking about investing in no fewer than 3 areas. Everyone here knows I'm big in cryptocurrency, right? So we can look at Bitcoin as one. We can look at investing in the American market. We can look at doing the hard work to become a permanent resident or passport holding citizen in another country that gives you access to their investment market. So when I take my dollar bill and I chop it up to put away 20% or more, that 20% further gets chopped up. I'll put a little into American economy. I'll put a little into my cryptocurrency economy. I'll put a little bit into my Brazilian investments as well. So I'm banking on something going wrong at some point. That's going to happen. But if all 3 of my investment modalities fail, I would have a bigger problem than money. It would mean nuclear war has started.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes
not going to fail at the same time.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I said that makes sense, because all of them wouldn't fail at the same time. It's impossible for all of them to fail at the same time.
Exactly. So that's why I say, you know, you have to, when I say invest, I don't just mean go online and read something and then invest. Everyone here knows I'm a big advocate of financial education. I get phone calls every day from people saying, what do I do with this money? The first thing I say is you either hire a professional to put it away for you. I can give you some guidance that way. I used to be a professional. I'm not licensed anymore. I can give you some guidance, or you take the time to learn the business. But the worst thing you can do is think that there is a golden basket you can put your money in. And hold on, let's see. Charles Travel said, are you opposed to real estate? No, I'm not opposed to any investment modality that you investigate, that you research and use as part of your financial strategy. My thinking as well, I'm going to build you offline. Hey, if anybody wants to catch up with me offline, I'll put my email address here. YusefWateef@gmail.com. So I'll put that there. Nathan Francis. All right, and by the way, this is for anybody who wants to contact me. Nathan Francis. Don't want to divulge personal info, but my condo in Oceanside is short selling and closing next week. School loan forgiveness courtesy of Uncle Sam changes my entire outlook. Expat life, here we come. Brother Nathan Francis is someone I work with quite a bit. He's a good, solid brother, and he and I have been putting together an expat relocation plan for him. He's getting out. And it's not something you can jump out of the window and do tomorrow, but he's built up to this point. And pretty soon, you know, you might see us doing a live from a corner market down here in Brazil, drinking a little coffee with cream on the corner, you know, eating a little cheese bread. Did I comb the belligerent stash? No, yes, the belligerent mustache. Yes, I comb it, but then I realize, you know, you don't want to overdo it. I always tell myself, oh my goodness, there's something out of place. If you watch, what I end up doing is if I drink something or I put something in my mouth, I always go to reset, because one of the habits, and this is from a guy who had this monster beard, he taught me something. He said, you always have to remember that if you get something in your mustache, there's probably nobody is going to tell you. Not because they're being mean, but a lot of people just don't want to say, hey, dude, you know, you got some fish in your mustache. So I'm always aware of, oh, I got to make sure it's clean, got to make sure it's straight, got to make sure it's clean, got to make sure it's straight. Georgia Freedom Financial, how much say you can make a job per season? How long is the season? Where is this, Haiti or Mexico? Sorry. Wait, hold on. Let's do this. I hope you can go back to the beginning later, but he said an entry-level guy can make $7,000 before taxes. Let's just round it down to $6,000 after taxes per month, okay? How long is the season? I believe you said it's a 6-month season. Philly, did you say that the season was 6 months long? Uh-oh, we got a bad connection again. Sid Alzi, pão de queijo, yes. I don't really like pão de queijo. Pão de queijo is a cheese bread in Brazil. And again, Sid Owsley and I, we're going to be sitting down having some red morning together, and we'll send you guys pictures. I want to show everybody what it's about with pão de queijo. There are these little baked breads that have the cheese baked in. It's a national breakfast dish. Everybody loves it, except me. I prefer pão com requeijão. I'm trying to remember how to spell it. Pão com requeijão. Requeijão is this spreadable light cheese, and this is how I prefer to have my breakfast, is one of these with the spreadable cheese instead of the little pão de queijo. Philly Dom, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here, my brother. I'm here.
Okay. How long is a season? You said a season is about 6 months, right?
Yeah, 3 to 6 months. It depends on your contract. Whatever company you're with. It's a lot of companies. It might be over 100 seafood processing companies. It depends on your contract.
Philly Dom, I have an idea. We need to talk offline.
Yes.
What if you and I could put together a pipeline for getting guys some jobs on these ships?
We can do that. I've been doing that on my own. We can definitely do that. I probably got maybe 300 to 400 people jobs on the ships and on the land facilities. Probably in the last 6 months.
Now, here's what I'm going to say, not from a greed aspect, but I know how hard you work to get the information you have. Please tell me that you're earning commission on these, right?
Yes, a little bit, not too much, but I am earning something on it. Yes.
Okay, because
yes, I am
what
getting some commission on it.
Until I actually started my Patreon, which I'll show you guys, I had so many people that would ask me for information and then not use it or waste my time or waste their own time. And I started a Patreon, and the Patreon has really helped. I've got a few people there that really want the information. I hope everybody gets a chance to check this out. The Patreon is a lot less fun than YouTube. Patreon is where I put a lot of deep, hardcore information on investments, cryptocurrency, how to get background checks done, things of that nature. I just posted one up. It was a Q&A on Bitcoin and life abroad that I did privately. Google Money class. I saw an opportunity on Google to make some money, and I shared that with people, and I told them how I'd monetize the situation. Here's a big one: visas and background checks. How to get visas and background checks for immigration when you choose to live in other countries. That kind of information is the stuff that people come to my Patreon for. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put, let's see. I'm going to put that here so that everybody can see it. Thank you. There we go. Now, it looks like Charles travels. What did he say? COVID has also allowed me to get rid of a couple 100,000 in the USA, and I'll be able to focus all future income on establishing new roots abroad. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So let's talk about you abroad a little bit more, Philly Dom. You're in Haiti now. Now, you spent 10 years in Mexico. Haiti is going to be your next home. How long have you been there? How long do you plan on being there?
Well, it's not going to be my next home. I'm going to be here a lot. I'm going to stay here a lot. I've been here since January. I'll be here until October. El Salvador, that'll be my home base, but I will spend a lot of time in Haiti. I will be in Haiti a lot. I will be in Haiti at months at a time now, definitely for sure.
Now, El Salvador, what is the capital of El Salvador? What is the major city there that you go to?
San Salvador. San Salvador is the capital.
And is that the major city?
San Salvador is the capital. That's the main city, man.
Because in Brazil, what a lot of people don't know is that the capital is a place called Brasilia.
And most people don't know that. I'm sure they don't know that, yeah. They don't think San Paulo. They might even think Rio.
Thank you for that compliment, Brother Sid. But here's the thing about San Salvador. I want to show some people some pictures. Where is this area I'm seeing?
This is El Salvador, right?
Yeah.
Let me look. I gotta take off my glasses for this one to double check. Oh, some of this is San Salvador. A lot of this is this is the capital.
Okay.
This is San Salvador. Almost shit.
And this is where you go hang out.
Yes. I have a lot of friends there.
So if I Google San Salvador and I put in the word fun, what am I gonna get?
You said if
I put in San Salvador, and then I put in the word fun,
it'll show you the beach. They got beaches and stuff like that. Volcanoes. I've been to that volcano I see right there. Ooh. That's in Santa Ana. It'll show you beaches and stuff like that. And they have a lot of museums, but they're known for their volcanoes. They're known for their volcanoes. I think they have like 23 volcanoes, if I'm correct. 19 to 23 volcanoes. That's what they're known for. Their hiking trails. That's what they're known for. When the media is not stopping them up for the crime part.
Do you go swimming in the when I lived in Hilo, Hawaii, we used to go swimming in the hot pots, meaning they had a lot of areas that because of the volcanoes would heat the water to certain temperatures and you can go swimming in it.
Okay. No, I didn't really do that. I'm gonna do it probably when I go back, but I didn't. I didn't never take the time to go do that. But friends have talked to me about it.
Charles Travel said, "Oh snap, that's the first time I've seen Philly's eyeballs. I thought maybe he was a cyborg and they were going to be these glowing red orbs."
So I'm right here. You can see me. That's my image. That's my little thing. When I first started YouTube, was the sunglasses. So it just stuck with me. But I've been doing that my whole life. I always like sunglasses since I was a little kid. It's just something that stayed with me. But you can see my eyes. I have. You can see them.
He does have eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I just wish that, you know, we really have to dedicate a couple videos or maybe some private time. I got some people that I want to introduce you to because, like, when does season start? When does the season start?
Right now, they're in high season because May is salmon season. You know about salmon? That's like one of the #1 fish in the world. So from May to September, that's their big season. But year round, they got pollock, they have rockfish, halibut, and so many other fish that they catch year round. So you can go up there at any time. If somebody wanted to go up there in January, they can go. But I recommend they go in May, because from May to September, because that's high season when you can make the most money. But you can work year round. They have other fish that they process year round. And the weather is better. People think Alaska is freezing cold all the time. That's another misconception about Alaska. It's not freezing cold all the time. If you go from May to like September, the weather, I say like 25, 30 degrees. And also it doesn't get dark most of the time. So it's sunlight most of the time. It could be 12 o'clock at night and it can look like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You'd be confused. And then it gets twilight, a little dark, and then it goes back to sunlight again.
Wow, man, I haven't been to Alaska. I've never really had the desire to hit Alaska. I might one day, but I've just never had that whole, you know, I'm a city kid, you know, I tell people that all the time. I like, you know, I like my Wi-Fi. I want to go have my tea that's chamomile mixed with anise. You know, I like having all those things just right there.
You won't have that in Alaska, man. They like little small towns with like 300 to 400 people, maybe a couple thousand. Everybody knows everybody. And if you on that vessel, if you're working on fishing vessels, you just with your crew. It might be 600 of y'all, 500, 400, whatever the boat carries. And you just be constantly working. But the land plants is like little small towns. Little small towns. It's beautiful. Alaska is a beautiful place. I would recommend anybody maybe just fly up there, go for a couple of days. You would definitely be an eye opener for you. But there's no big city. I mean, Anchorage is the biggest city they have. Anchorage is pretty big. But after that, it's small. I think only, if I'm correct, you might have to Google it. I think maybe only 300,000 people live there year round, full time. 300,000 in the whole state. And Alaska is like half the size. It's half of the U.S. If you put it in a map, if you take Alaska and put it in the lower 48, it can fill up half of the map.
So look at this. There you go. You called it.
Yeah, I told you. No, I've been up there a couple of years. I've been going up there since 2015. Nobody lives there. Nobody lives there.
So Akaben Renaissance says he wants to experience the sunlight at night in the northern hemisphere.
Go to Alaska. It's going on right now.
Alaska, you'll figure it out real quick.
Yeah.
You will figure it out real quick. So has anybody ever gone up there and said, you know what, when this is over, I want to stay? Is that a real thing? Do people say, hey, you know what? I'm so enamored with this place that I want to stay?
Yes. A couple of my friends, they live there. They love it. I don't know why. No, it's a nice place, but it'll just be something, but it's a lot of people that are enamored with the place and they do want to stay there. Yeah. They work a season and they end up just staying up there.
Wow. Wow.
Because you make good money. Every job in Alaska pays. Because nobody, they pay, do you know Alaska, they pay people to live there? They pay people to live in Alaska. They give them some kind of state tax, $3,000 every year just to live there. Because nobody wants to live there. They're trying to build up the, residents for people to live there. So they'll pay you like $3,000 a year just to live in Alaska. Or $2,000, whatever. They tally it up every year, whatever. They put the money aside from the tax money and they divvy it to all their residents. If you're a resident of Alaska and you have a license there and an ID there, they'll pay you the state tax. I forget it's a name they have for it in Alaska, but they all get it. Any person that lives there gets that.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. So they're just trying to repopulate it. Now, here's the thing. Outside of the fishing vessels, what do people do there? I mean, I understand that every city needs a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, a restaurant, but what do they do in Alaska? What are the main businesses that you've seen?
They have everything that's in the lower 48. They have, grocery stores. I know they need a lot of medical people in the medical field. I know if you go up there to work in Alaska in the medical field, they pay you a lot more. Doctors, RN, nurses.
I know a travel nurse is up there.
Yeah. It's a big travel destination now. They have these little travel tours they do. They also have a lot of people that work the oil rigs. But any job that you work in Alaska, you got people in McDonald's that work in Alaska. I'm not even joking with you. Probably getting $16, $17 an hour. You can Google it. Working in McDonald's. Because nobody wants to live there, so they have to entice you to give you a reason why you want to keep you there. They got to give you a reason to want to be in Alaska. But I know mainly the medical field. I know they need a lot of people in the medical field. Dentists, anything in the medical field is high on the list up there in Alaska. Definitely high on the list up there in Alaska. And then you have the oil rigs, you have the fishermen, even like we talk about the seafood processors. Eventually, like a lot of guys, they come up there, they come as a seafood processor, and then we work the docks, so you get familiar with the fishermen. So when the fishermen have an opening, you can go for that. The fishermen are making, man, $60,000, $80,000, sometimes more, sometimes less. They making a ton of money. I never knew how much fishermen made until I went to Alaska. I used to no fishermen, they can't make no real money. But the fishermen, and that's like the low end. We're talking about like the deckhands and stuff. We're not even talking about the guys that own the boats, the captain of the boat. They're making like $500,000 a season, sometimes way more than that, after they do all the payout to their crew. It's a lot of money in Alaska.
I know a guy who did a similar job. I think it was in the Baltic. Mm-hmm. Charles Travel said, so looking at the pictures of El Salvador, Yusef, are you intrigued? I've considered El Salvador before, but the reputation is horrible, and I've lived in Tijuana, Mexico. No, El Salvador was not a place that struck me as good or bad. It just wasn't on my list. A lot of people were shocked that I actually ended up in Brazil because I spent so many years living in Asia. I lived in China before I came to Brazil. I've lived in, I traveled a little bit through Malaysia, Singapore. I lived in Japan for a while. Lived in Thailand for a while. I mean, a couple of years each. I've probably lived in 15 countries for a couple of years each. Brazil is the country I've lived in the longest because I decided I wanted to get my citizenship here. So I went ahead and went through that process, and I'm at 5 years in Brazil. But now I'm still probably going to head out of Brazil, and I might go check out Colombia for a while.
Can I say something to Charles Travels? I got something to tell him. I've lived in both places. I've stayed a lot of time in El Salvador, and I've stayed a lot of times in Tijuana, Mexico. Tijuana, Mexico is way more dangerous than El Salvador. By far. By far. El Salvador, if you know where to go and where not to go, you will have no problems. And they have some real upscale, nice areas in El Salvador. And San Salvador, they have some real nice areas there.
Wow.
And you wouldn't have. It's almost like living in the States. I'm telling you, they just speak Spanish there. It's so developed. When I first went to El Salvador a couple years back, I said I'll never listen to CNN again. I'll never listen to Fox again. I'll listen to none of them again. Because with the way the way they talked about that place, El Salvador, when I went there, it wasn't what I saw. I knew, now you know they have their gangs. Like the United States, we have our gangs. Brazil has their gangs. But if you know how to maneuver yourself, you really have no problems there. Tijuana, the whole time I've been in Tijuana is pretty dangerous. If you don't know Tijuana like that, it's a dangerous place.
It's one of those situations where I listen to people talk to me about the countries that I've lived in, and they'll explain something to me about how what they heard on television makes them skeptical. My question is, why would you believe a television that you know lies about who you are to tell you the truth about who someone else is?
And it's news, so they have to sell it. It's news, they have to sell it. If they said good, if they said everything good, that wouldn't be right. But negative publicity sells, so they have to push the negative about the place.
And that's a terrible thing. I mean, and I don't mean they don't want to sell stuff. I mean, why do you eat that up? Why are we looking at it and saying, I think I'm going to believe them, but that's all?
Nobody checks it. Nobody goes there and checks. Nobody verifies. Whatever the news tell them is dangerous.
Exactly. Whatever the news tells them must be the truth, unless they're talking about you and you realize they're not telling the truth. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
None. Oh, hold on. Never listen to CNN again.
Good. I know.
Let me ask a question. How are you language-wise? Now, I know in Haiti they speak Creole. In Mexico, obviously, they speak Spanish. Mm-hmm. Where are your language skills at?
Not good in either one, but I'm better in Spanish than I am in Creole. But I'm picking up Creole now because I've been here so long now, so I'm starting to pick up the language. But I'm survival mode in both places. But it's in Latin America, any Spanish country, I'm pretty good. I'm not like a master of the language, but I can hold a conversation with you. I'm trying to get my Creole at that point too. So I grew up in Philly.
Can you see what Charles said? Read that.
What did he say? My buddy has a house in El Salvador, and he says folks walk around with shotguns, shooting people. They have shotguns, they do, at all the convenience stores, McDonald's and everything. But when I moved to Tijuana, there was two, he got cases, heads in the streets. The first month, I told you, Tijuana don't play because that's the last stop for the drugs coming into the U.S. They got millions and millions of dollars on the line, the gangsters and the cartels. They don't play that. Tijuana, I'm telling you, I would tell anybody if they wanted to travel, if they wanted to move to different countries, I would tell them to go to live in Tijuana, Mexico first. If you can survive Tijuana, Mexico, that is the worst it's going to get. Anywhere else you go, it's going to be a lot easier than Tijuana, Mexico.
So let me tell you something.
And that's facts.
People ask me
I'm telling you, Tijuana, I've been there. Tijuana don't play.
People ask me all the time about violence and danger in Brazil, and I say, I don't know. I don't live that life. I live downtown, 15 minutes away from one of the most historic cities in the world. Brazil is one of those places, Sao Paulo, Brazil, telling you just about my city. I don't worry about anything because I don't live any place dangerous. Like in Sao Paulo, you would have to go someplace you shouldn't be doing something you shouldn't be doing. But as far as me just in my neighborhood, 15 minutes away from one of the most famous streets in Brazil, I can just walk down the street talking on my phone. Now, here's the thing. If it's Saturday night and I'm out with my buddies and I'm walking down the street like an idiot going, look at me, mom, I'm on the, yeah, of course there might be some kid that says, you know what, that phone is worth a lot of money. Of course they might. But as far as just regular, I don't know anybody that's had a pistol stuck in their face. People say, oh, well, why don't you go see the real Brazil? I'm like, what do you mean real Brazil? You mean the places where you read about? I am in the real Brazil, the place where I can go have a nice meal at a very highly rated restaurant and enjoy my life. But you go ahead with that. I'm going to go see the real Brazil. That's like somebody saying, I'm going to go to the United States, but I'm going to go to the deepest, darkest, dankest hood I can find, and then judge the country on that.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you can come for me now. You can come get me now. You can come get me now. All right. Come get me now. All right. That was my driver.
We got to wrap it up then. I know we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, no, he's not here yet. He's coming now. He just told me he's coming now. He's not here yet.
Well, we got Brazil Runs in Danger where you are. If anybody wants to check that out, I put it in the comments. Say, how you doing? Iadus? Haven't seen that name before. If you guys haven't, make sure you click subscribe. That's a really important thing. That's how I get to meet so many amazing, great people. BK from the Rocky said, truth about listening to news outlets about some places. The news never speaks nicely about Colombia, but YouTubers live great lives there. I've got plenty of friends in Colombia as well, and it's the same thing. Oh my goodness, you're gonna die. Really? Well, where are you going? That's my question. See, what a lot of people don't know, check this out. Akobin said this, people say the same things about my city, Oakland. It's all about one's mentality and the circles you move with. Yes. Because here's what 100% right. Here's what people don't tell you. They'll say, oh, I went to Brazil and I got robbed and these bad things happened to me. And do you ever ask them, okay, well, exactly what part of town were you in? Matter of fact, tell me the intersection you were down near. Where were you? Were you down on the corner of Paulista and Augusta? Is that where you got robbed, where regular people are doing regular? No, it's always I'm deep down in some place I shouldn't have been. Like, why were you there? Like, why were you even in that neighborhood? Because clearly you don't live there. You weren't born there. You went there on purpose, trying to live out your fantasy, but nobody wants to hear that truth. Philly John, you got to wrap it up, and I understand you got people on the way to come and get you. Yes, sir. But I would definitely like to do the seafood thing with you. You said we need to talk about that offline. Maybe you can help me. We can work together as a team and maybe take it to another level, because right now it's getting out of hand. A lot of people are calling me for the job. I mean, literally, I can show you my emails. I can show you my what's up, my Instagram. It's crazy, especially due to the situation at hand. A lot of people not working, so they're trying to find any angle to get a job right now. Cool. Well, listen, I'm going to let you have the last word. Anything you want to say to people? Man, I would tell them if they get a chance, man, come on down to Haiti. Check out Haiti, man. It's the first independent black country in the world. 1804, first country out of slavery. And it's just a place that I think a lot of Americans should come and check out, and Europeans, especially Americans. It's like, it's 2 hours from Miami. It's right there. We're right there, like in the backyard of the United States. And I think a lot of people should come down here and check out the country, man, and just help support the country to bring some to build up the economy, man. Because they don't have what Jamaica has, what Barbados has, the Bahamas, their tourism, and I think that will propel it to the next level, like the Dominican Republic, which is the other side of the island. And also, if anybody needs to ask some questions about the seafood processing jobs and working in Alaska, reach out to me, and I'll walk you through the steps to help you get the job. Maybe you might have a relative. You might be financially all right, but you might have a relative that's in need of a job. Because I know everybody got a relative or a friend in need of a job. Reach out to me. Exactly. So I'm going to do this. Let me go back up. YusefWateef @gmail.com for anybody that wants to catch up with me. All right, I'm going to click the off button. We got to do this again, man. We got a little more time. I'm going to come over to visit your channel as well. Definitely. All right. Definitely going to do this again. All right, folks.